sit upright. A lot of us use this song as we relate to our Supreme Being, and who we, 1, 2, 1, 2. Who we relate to. But before I say a word today to my beautiful sisters, I want to take a second to acknowledge someone who I would not be here if it wasn't for her. I wouldn't be breathing. I wouldn't be able to do the work that I do. I wouldn't be able to give back to man's soul if she didn't give me life, if she didn't give me compassion, if she didn't give me the courage and the dedication of every day of her life. My mother. I don't think that I need this. My mother is someone I lost on December 29th, 2015. And as most of us, as women, there's anchors to our life. And most of our anchors hold us down, in the real sense of the way, as we hold so many, many, many people down. Sometimes to the point where we wonder how we do it. So I give thanks, I give all the glory to my mother and to all of those women who came before me, who gave me the foundation to stand on. A lot of times we stand here and we speak. I stopped the sister because I hate bios. I think that bios only build ego, and I'm so opposed to bios. I think that we are the reflection of who we are. Doesn't the words of what we did yesterday and so on and so forth? We are phenomenal women who stand in our glory of every new day that we step into this world. It is not the words or the trials and the tribulations that define us, but it is who we commit to be every day that we wake up. It is who we give life to every day we step into the world. So I want to take another second and have everyone sit up straight with your backs arching. Close your eyes so that we can take a second and meditate, so that we can release ourselves of all the scattering thoughts of the rushing to get here, of the children that we might have had to get ready to get out, of the week of work, of the bills that came, of the house that we left that might be dirty, that somebody might come back home with us, and the worries, of the car that didn't have enough gas, of all the things that we have to do. I want us to close our eyes and just take a second and breathe. I want us to close our eyes and release the stress of yesterday, the worries of tomorrow, and be fully present for a wonderful and successful event celebrating each and every one of you. I want you to close your eyes and just breathe. Because sometimes we don't even take a second to breathe. Because sometimes we don't even take a second to breathe. We're so tense, some of us can't even close our eyes. Sometimes it's important to just be still and breathe. And be present for right now. Free from all of the stress and anxiety of every single thing that will still be there after you breathe. So today, I salute you, ladies. I salute you. I salute you. You can open your eyes and continue to breathe. Where and it's important. It is very important for us to breathe, you know. And how many people had a problem with sitting there, closing their eyes and breathe? Be honest. Because our mind is constantly running. As women, as the providers, as the foundation, to so many, many, many things and peoples and organizations and groups and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Our mind is always running. And sometimes, as I said before, we say, how do we do it? How do we do it? How can we be present for everyone else and still be present for ourselves? That's the lion roaring over there. See the lion? See, she's roaring over there. Phenomenal organization, Lions Club. My sister from the Lions Club that does phenomenal work out here and around the world. You know, but how do we do it? How are we able to, you know, be present for others and still be present for ourselves? And at 18 years old, as the sister said, I went to Raleigh, upstate New York, and it's like when people go to church, I got saved. And I got saved in the sense that I became conscious. That there was more than just driving up and down Linden Boulevard, going to 103rd or 193rd, or going to Basie Projects, or going here just to see who is wearing what and what's the next party and so on and so forth. I found out that there was more to that. And at that age, I dedicated myself to making change. I dedicated myself to ending police brutality, to eradicating all of the oppressions that we faced as black people in America. And I knew that I would change the world. And then I realized that it was a long and tenuous journey to make that a reality. You know, and as I made steps in that process, I became what was known as, Deepak Chopra coins me as an angry peacemaker. And we ask ourselves, what is an angry peacemaker? How can you be angry and peace at the same time? But a lot of us, not only in this room, but throughout society, when we step into the world, we step from a place of comparison. We step from a place of jealousy. We step from a place of comparing ourselves to the next woman, or to the next group, or to the next clergy, or to the next church. We judge. And then we ask ourselves, how can we truly have compassion for someone else? How can we be interconnected to our sisters when we stand in a place of comparison? When we stand in a place of judgment? We can't. Because there's an immediate barrier to you and the next person. You are not equal. You are not one. If I am looking at how you achieve that, or how come you are able to do A and I can't get B, and so on and so forth, and why are you getting the money, and why does your church have more people, and why are your children good, and why is my children this and that, and you spend your whole life worrying about something you can't control. And then you get depressed, and you get angry. And you start to judge yourself. What can I do more? Why couldn't I do this? Why did I fit? And why, and why, and why? When you're already great. Because you are you. You can never be that next person. You can't be that next group. You can't be that next elected official. You can only stand in the space and the glory and the divine purpose that you have been given as a man or a woman on this earth. And when we try to embark ourselves into someone else's life and someone else's purpose, we fail automatically. What does she mean? I grew up in Southeast Queens. I grew up right, I don't even know where I grew up, right? Somewhere over there.
But you did grow up.
I did grow up. right there off 120th and Basil. Been living there for 46 years. So I kind of know this community. I kind of know the people in this community. And one of the things that troubled me is our inability to see greatness in each other and allow that greatness to grow as our greatness grows. We can't get to a higher and greater place by bringing another person down.
That's right. That's right.
And the reason why I know that is because I was that person. As my brother, elected official, could tell you, every elected official was full of shit to me. Every elected official didn't do their job. Every elected official deserved my fist, my foot, my whatever I had to chop them down. And I might have been coming in the door with some great information that could have saved the whole community. But since I blew the door down, probably killed a number of people on the inside, on the other side, they were unable to get my message. So I had to convert from looking at them as the problem and look at what I was doing to convey what it is that I believed was correct. And at the point in time where I changed and began to deal with myself and releasing myself from the dark side to the side of love and not fear, from not comparison but to compassion,
That's right.
then my blessings started to come.
That's right. Yes.
The doors started to open.
Yes.
Other people's lives and journeys was not important to me in the sense that that had to be the foundation of which I stood on. But I stood on my own foundation and my own mission of what it is that I was trying to accomplish as an individual. And you face a lot of challenges in that, no doubt. Always the first and foremost one is the ability to financially support ourselves. And as women, there's nothing that exists in our neighborhood without us. We are clearly the #1 spenders anyway, because our children spend our money. I don't have any children. I have a lot of children and their needs didn't come out of me. I saved the 9 months part, you know. Not all of y'all do that. I just took the shot. But the wealth of our community comes from us. So why not allow us from a place of love and compassion and interconnection to develop what happens in our community so that we can truly have a society, a community, a block that gives life to our children instead of death. That enhances their emotional wellness as opposed to just allows them to pass a test in a school and not know nothing when they walk out the door. It is because we see ourselves as separate. It is because we see one's dollar not as equal to my dollar. And the inability for us to be that vessel. We are one system. The heart, the soul, the brain, the mouth. We are one system. But we work in silos. We work in silos. And I go back to my original point of a place of fear, the comparison, the judgment, the ego, the jealousy, does not allow us to grow in a manner in which is beneficial for ourselves, our future, and our children's lives. So when we see what happens in our community, we would like to go like this and point to everyone else, but honestly we can't. because these are our children, these are our houses, this is our dollars, this is our lives. And we are in control of it. But we can't organize, we can't raise our children, we can't have successful jobs if we move from a place of fear and not a place of love. What do I mean? If you're raising your child from a place that I gotta make sure he doesn't get into those gangs, or I gotta make sure that he doesn't connect with these bad, I gotta make sure he gets a 90 on the test, I gotta make sure he does this, I gotta make, your child is not able to live. I gotta keep his father away from him, or I gotta let him know that, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we put into our children's head. We put our anger and our relationships with other people and our relationships with our family members and our relationships with our people in our community into our children's head. We put our fear of everything into our children's head. And they're not allowed to live. And what do I mean? When young people come to me, they are very traumatic in terms of the impact that they've had in a lot of situations. Mostly, unfortunately, a lot of people are growing up in single-family households. So, if I buy my son or my daughter something, and I say, you know how much money it took for me to get this, and you know how much it cost me, you better be grateful for this, because I did this, and I had to sacrifice this, and I had to do this, and you don't appreciate this, and you know that I did this, and I did that, and you did, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Can anybody relate?
Yeah.
And what happens is the child thinks that I'm causing pain in my parents' life. I'm making them have to do A, B, and C. I'm creating a discomfort in their life. And those little subtle things build and build and build and build and build on top of the fact. How many people have Facebook? Raise your hand. How many people check your Facebook every day? How many people check your children's telephone every day? How many people check who your children are friends with every day? How many people check the emotional stability of your child or the children that come into the life of your child every day? We see it more important to get likes than we see it more important to give life to our likeness. It is of extreme importance to know your child. It is of extreme importance to know yourself. She says she knows her child because her child is sitting next to her.
No, I said she's my little sister. I said you are my child. My little sister.
Yes, you said that. And it is important to have real relationship with people from a place of compassion. Not a place of where you want the relationship to be. A lot of times it's, if somebody doesn't call you back, you call somebody, they don't call you back, or you reach out to somebody, they don't respond, you immediately start bashing the person. They didn't this, and there was a time when, did you get up because my time is up? So what we have to do, right, is understand the importance of having real relationships. relationships. First and foremost with ourselves, to thy own self be true.
Yes.
Second, to those who we brought into this world or those we give guidance to in this world. Because we can't lead an organization, we can't be the deaconette or the head of this club or that one without truly connecting to the people who are connecting to us. And it's connecting, and I say that because I was that person. Had a lot of people around me, but was moving so fast and not connecting with the young people. So I was saying, you gotta do this and you gotta do that, and I would try to beat the ability, because we see what is coming into being. We see the dangers of head, and sometimes we try to stop it, but we can't. We have to be there from a place of connection, of real connection and real love and real compassion. I love y'all. I thank y'all for the time.